Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome back to the stream. It is I, DigiDriver, welcoming you back to Lockheed Martin Prepared version 5.3. We are flying the Quality Wings 787-800 today in the Air Canada livery. We're going to be returning from Keflavik in Iceland to Halifax in the province of Nova Scotia in Canada. We're going to accelerate the flight like we did last time. Last time it was a 4-something hour flight that was reduced to probably about a couple of hours worth of stream time and us catching up. I'm probably going to accelerate it. It's probably not going to be as fast unless it needs to be for whatever reason. I'll take a look at the flight time for today's flight and then we'll get started. We are connected on the ground and we have the external power plugged in, so we shouldn't run into issues with battery or the like. And yeah, man, a little bit to catch up on, but back at the what I believe is the MK Studios Keflavik scenery, which I bought, I want to say either last month or the month before that, when I bought that along with the I think it was the FSim Studios Halifax scenery as well. So here we are. Let's go ahead and get started, and I'll cut the cinematics and we'll get underway. Okay, so we're in the cabin, excuse me, we're in the flight deck, and we are at stand 11. Let's go ahead and start doing some GSX things. I have GSX level 2, so I might not see the folks board in from the terminal jetway, but we're going to do the usual. I need to figure out what the flight plan and loadout's going to be, so we'll start doing this, and the passengers actually won't take that long to get in the airplane because I have like crazy fast load-in. We have 267 passengers for the flight, but we're probably not going to have that many on board. So let's go ahead and get the service and the boarding started.
Catering vehicles are on their way.
Catering vehicles are coming. Let's go ahead and also request boarding. So while they're loading on the one side, the catering will come in on the other. We already have the jetway connected, which actually got connected to 2 left instead of 1 left. We're not all the way up in front, which is kind of cool.
Boarding requested.
Now let's see if it takes 267 passengers. I don't think it will. Oh, I guess it will. Fine. I mean, I did put 787-800 as the aircraft type, so there we go. We have a takeoff weight estimated at 383,704 pounds. So before I do anything else, let's just make sure we're good to go here. Our IRS system was already set to align. We are plugged into the ground power, and we should have both doors open for that. Give me a bit. Let me check. Oh, the rear door and the side door aren't open. That's because I haven't opened them yet. Silly me.
Do you want to board crew?
Crew and pilots. So yes.
Pilots boarding starting.
Okay, I want door R4. I missed that for some reason. And I want door R2. There we go. And there we are. We've got catering coming in. Some lovely food. Dave Rendon, it is a privilege having you on board, my friend. God bless you and your family. Wonderful to have you aboard. Feel free to grab a seat in first class. I think we can arrange something, or even have you
Crew boarding starting.
in the flight deck on a jump seat, if that's what you prefer. I'm just getting started for the flight. So we have our IRSs aligning. We have IFE and cabin utilities on. The APU is not running, but we do have external power plugged in. And I am going through my startup flows. Dave, I am better than I deserve. Everything isn't perfect and peachy keen, but the Lord provides. And honestly, I'm in that place where what you believe is what you have to profess and live out. So, amen to that. We're going to move forward and we're going to move forward the best way we can. And if we hit some road bumps along the way, then that's exactly what'll happen. And I'm more than welcome to having a chat with you offline to talk about that. I still have your phone number, so I might even give you a call just to catch up with you and the fam at some point. But whatever the case, we are prepping
Your
for a
crew has
flight back
boarded.
to Canada. And now I
Passengers
hear the
boarding
passengers as
starting.
well. Now we have external power on, window heats are all on. We don't have our nav light on, and we don't have our logo light on. I don't care, it's the middle of the day. I'm Digi. I always have my logo light on. We have our cargo fire armed. And what am I missing? We probably don't need fuel pumps running right now because we're nowhere close to starting the APU. Cargo and flight deck temp should be good. Thank you, friend. Thank you. I'm going to see what I can do. I might not give you a call tonight, depending on when I wrap up. It's flowing into some family time, but believe me when I say I would be honored to catch up with you, my brother. Seriously. So let's plan on that. I will at minimum text you, and we will catch up. And if I can't find your number for some reason, I'll DM you. So no, I'm not worried about it at all. Pleasure to have you aboard, Fred. All right, what am I missing? Am I forgetting anything? I know I heard a beep. Show me the beep. Are we good? I think we're good for catering. Tuesday works. Tuesday works. Okay, I think they're done with catering. Let's go ahead and close the catering doors. I'm going to assume they're done with both sides of catering, so they should be going soon. Packs are on, they're auto. You can start the plane with packs on. It is futuristic like that. And I don't have to worry about pressurization or computed altitudes. So let's move forward. I have the dome light on overhead. I probably don't need it anymore. And now I think we can get started with programming the computer. So we're not flying on VATSIM, so I don't have to worry about frequencies. I am going to set up my transponder though. Where's my transponder? Go to menu. Transponder is going to be an IFR flight, so of course I'm reprising 2257 as my squawk. And let's get to the nav and go to page 2. I want to get my waypoints set, so I'm going to import my flight plan into Navigraph charts, and we should get going. I'm assuming we're probably going to be wheels up in about maybe 35 minutes. So let's go to the airport. What was I looking for? Oh, I was looking for the approach. All right, when we go to Halifax, we'll be landing on runway 14. So we'll be landing to the southeast. So let's go to Halifax. You guys don't see what I'm looking at. I might share the browser window with you in a bit unless I'm very busy. Yeah, why don't we do that? Hold on. Hey, Iowa Scotsman coming through with a tier 1 sub, 34 months of support, my friend. It is a privilege having you here. Thank you for the resub. God bless you and your family. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a very good weekend. I am prepping for a flight back to Halifax in P3D in the Quality Wing 787. I can't stay away. I can't stay away. So let me share my browser window so you guys can see the planning I'm doing. If I can see it. There's always a little bit of a dance with this window, so I'm not worried. There we go. Okay, you should be able to see my browser screen now, and I am taking a look at Halifax. Are we sure we want to land on runway 14? I don't think so. Runway 14 is approximately 7,700 feet long. It's not that we couldn't land on runway 14, it's probably that we shouldn't, especially if we're going to be as heavy as I think we are. So we're going to switch to runway 23 for today, because I don't feel like dealing with that. Show more runway options. Let's pick runway 23. And it's also not used, so I wonder why they gave me that runway. Not worried about it. Let's go ahead and take a look at the arrivals that are available at this point, since we're going to be cooking up a new one. The current arrival that we have, actually, we don't have an arrival. These are just straight waypoints. Okay, show me the arrivals that we can do. No, 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 those are approaches. Show me arrivals. Arrivals. There we go. So it's probably going to be the Cabo 5 from Kaylee. That's a little weird, but we're going to do the best we can. So, Cabo 5, add. And we're going to go direct from Heator to Kaylee. So we're going to get rid of Bosub. And now we file right into the arrival. And now that we're in for the arrival, we're going to set it for the approach to Two Tree. Two Tree, we're probably going to do Liros. That's an Arnav. I mean, we could, if we wanted to, just do, and do visual as a backup. Because that's what we're going to be doing anyway. As long as the weather is good, we should be fine. Let's take a look at the METAR for Halifax right now. Okay, METAR for Halifax, Stanfield. METAR says winds 170 at 8, 15 statute miles. We have rain. We have rain, but clouds are broken at 2400. So we could still do a visual approach as long as the weather's not horrible. But you know what? We'll do ILS. So let's pick the ILS 2 tree, add it, and there's the approach. And if we go missed, we go to India Hotel Zulu 12, and then loop back around to the Halifax VOR and hold. So hopefully we won't have to go around, but let's go. And that should do it. When we get down to Halifax, we'll probably try to exit at Charlie and then taxi back up Alpha to at least the South Apron. I do not know where international arrivals come in. I'm assuming it's either this southern terminus or this northern terminus, if you will. So let's plan on the southern gates, and then we'll see what happens. It's not that big of a deal. I think we should be good enough to plan and to get out of town. So let me go back in and go back into the airplane. So now you guys know what I'm flying. And now we'll see if my flight plan actually gets preserved. So 2 challenges. 1 is setting up the flight plan. 2 is actually entering the flight plan into the computer. So let's go back in. We are loading luggage right now, and I think the last of the luggage for the rear cargo deck has been loaded. So let's go ahead and set the ILS approach course. ILS approach course is going to be 2 tree at the frequency 109.9er. 109.9er. Is it raining right now? 109.9er at 2 tree. That's it. That ILS should kick in once we get close. I'm not worried about it. That's usually something I've seen before. Dave, enjoy your time out. God bless you, and happy to have you boarding for a brief bit. So enjoy yourself. Take care. Looks like we're done boarding, so we should be able to get out of here shortly. And can we get panel lighting? There we go. We got panel lighting. So we have the ILS set for our approach. Transponder is on. We will turn on transponder mode, which is probably mode Charlie on VATSIM, but we are not going to be flying on VATSIM tonight. And yes, it is raining out there. That's neat. Okay, so we probably don't need the jetway connected at this point since we finished boarding. Let's go ahead and disconnect it. Boarding is completed. Deboarding is no longer available. Catering service is completed. Let's operate the jetways and undock. And let's turn off the lights for the cargo bulkheads. And now we can probably keep cabin lighting on until we actually get going. So let me just spin around real quick, make sure the airplane is actually closed up on the outside. It's raining, so I'm assuming we're going to want to calculate or factor in some potential for icing. So let's go ahead and finish up, but it does look like we are fully closed up outside. Unfortunately, it doesn't sound like we have the usual quality wing sound effects, or maybe sometimes it's just kind of like a random thing that happens. So I'm not worried about that. Take a quick peek upstairs again, and no, not much. Towing power is on. We're still connected to ground power. I'm not going to get the APU started until we have our flight plan set. Window heat's on. Beacon light not on yet. We'll get the panel integrated lighting on. And that's about it. All right, so good enough. Let's go ahead and start planning. Oh, before I do that, let's get the performance set up. So, okay, I'm sorry. Dispatch first. So, for today's flight, we are going to be taking on 56,100 pounds of block fuel. Let me see if that's the max. Actually, 95,000 pounds of block fuel is the maximum, so we're going to go ahead and code for that. So, fuel weight, 95,000. Thank you. Fuel weight set. Payload is going to be 61,400 pounds. And the zero fuel weight for today is actually pretty close to what it normally is. So that's maybe about 1,000 pounds off. Might present some higher performance numbers, but that should be fine. I'm guessing that's because of the greater weight from the actual tankered fuel setting that I like to set up as. Payload set, fuel tanks are set, and oh, excuse me. No, 61.4. That's what I want. There we go. Okay, so now we can back out of here and go to performance. We're leaving Keflavik, and we are leaving on what runway? We're taking runway 10, which means we're departing to the east. We'll take 10. Condition is wet, and surface winds are what right now? Surface winds are 120 at 17, with clouds broken at 1,000 and overcast at 18. 120 at 17. 120 at 17. Current surface temperature is 09 or dew point 08. Excuse me. That's not it. There we go. 09er. QNH right now is 1003. Thrust rating. I'm probably going to derate unless the runway is actually smaller than I expect it to be. Let's see. Let's take a look at charts. Charts tell me 10 is actually 10,056 feet. We landed on 10 coming in some weeks back. So yeah, we should be fine. And we could theoretically depart to the south if we wanted to. But wait a minute. The winds are 170 at 8. Why don't we just take off runway 19er? Oh yeah, we're definitely going 19er. So we're going to change our plans up. We're going to pick 19er. Procedure Raylo 4 Bravo does not connect and will be removed. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So after we depart on the 19er, we'll need to pick a different departure. So we could do Raylo 3 Charlie. Let's add it. There we go. Real simple. Oh, that works just fine now. So we're gonna take 1 9er instead of 1 0. And it's a 10,000 foot long runway. We could probably do a D-rated takeoff. Optimum? Let's see. Optimum rating and flap config, we'll probably do flaps 5. We're definitely going to have the lift for it. Takeoff weight is going to be roughly 422,600 pounds. And calculate CG. Do we know what CG is? I don't know. Show landing. Let's set up landing. Why not? Charlie, Yankee, Hotel, Zulu. We're looking at Halifax. Stanfield International. We're going to take runway 23. Conditions should be dry right now. Current winds, last time I checked, were 170 at 8. So again, landing south. OAT was 07. And winds are 170 at 8. QNH there is going to be 299er2, which is actually kind of cool. 299er2. Category config will go manual. Flap config is probably going to be either flaps 25 or flaps 30. I'm going to assume with a roughly 10,000 foot long runway, we could do flaps 25. And anti-ice config, I'm going to assume anti-ice off because we're going to be landing dry. Reversers, I don't know. I don't know what no credit versus all off means. I'm going to assume no credit is basically we do manual reversers. And that's it. Spoiler config will be manual. And brakes will be... Oh, wait, I got to hide the keyboard. Brakes will be auto brake 3 minimum. Auto brake 3. Landing weight, I have no idea. Is that a part of my flight briefing? I wonder. Not going to worry about that, but we are probably going to burn off somewhere in the vicinity of like 40,000 pounds. So if I just go with like a general rule, we're going to be at least 40,000 pounds lighter when we land there. So if I take 40,000 pounds off my takeoff weight, that might give me some numbers. And we'll see how close we get to them when we actually get close. So if takeoff weight was 422,600 pounds, 40,000 pounds lighter is going to be 382,600. And VREF add will add 5. Then we calculate, and let's see. Auto brake 3 is going to give me 7,395 feet for stopping. Landing distance available 10,500. This is actually pretty cool. I've never actually computed landing before we even go fly the plane, which is pretty neat. So if the entire runway is roughly 10,000 feet long and we want to exit at Charlie, there is a good chance we will. If we go auto brake 4, we definitely will. So let's do that. Let's do auto brake 4, and then we will have a very good chance of exiting at Charlie. And now we can send the output to FMC, and that information is set. Beautiful. Give me terminal charts for Bravo, India, Kilo, Foxtrot. Search. And Charlie, Yankee, Hotel, Zulu. And complete. Okay, so now we have charts for departure, looks like. Terminal charts? How do we actually do this? Is there a next page? Yes, okay. So we have departures for Keflavik. We'll be taking the Raylo 3 Charlie. And there is the departure map, which is kind of cool. All right, so that's good enough for me for right now. And I can leave that there and move on. So, good stuff. Our flight attendants are taking care of the passengers on the back. And I'm going to set up for a departure right now. Transition altitude is 7,000 feet. So I'm probably going to set 7,000 as the initial climb. And then we're going to climb probably all the way to 400. What's the altitude that they set for the flight? It is 400. There we go. In steps. And departing runway heading is going to be 192. 192, 192, 192. There we go. 192 is the departure heading. Do we have any airspeed restrictions on the departure? Yes, 220 on the initial climb, and then once we turn right after Kilo Foxtrot 285, there should not be any airspeed restrictions. Actually, there aren't any, so that's fine. 220 max speed. And the clouds are low. Wow. Okay, so now we have the auto throttle set, and we have the flight directors on. I'm going to there we go. Calibrate. We have it set for hectopascals right now, and minimums are going to be baro minimums at Halifax. Minimums, I like to use the highest number I can. They're going to be 780 feet for localizer. Actually, I'm sorry. Does that make sense? Straight in landing. Straight in landing, I think we're going to go with 780. So let's zoom in and watch the numbers go up. Whee! 780. And we're set. 780 set for baro, and we have our baro set in hectopascals. I can keep clicking this left, right, and we have hectopascals for our departure. So range is going to be, I'm going to set it for 40 on this map. I'm sorry. Set it for 40 here and set it for way bigger here. And I think that does it. All I got to do now is get this set on this system here. So, init ref, cruise altitude is going to be 400. Cost index for today's flight is going to be 15. We're sipping gas today, man. That's pretty cool. And reserves are going to be 38.9. And that's it. All right, now on to thrust limit. So we're going to do a 10% D rate. And probably climb 1. No, you know what? Yeah, arm climb. And takeoff. Did I miss something? Performance, thrust limit. Takeoff, there we go. Really? Did I do something wrong? That's takeoff, that's performance. I feel like I'm missing something here. No worries. Runway winds for BIKF right now. IFR, light drizzle. We have winds. Oh, now we have winds 12017. It's going to be a little bit of a gusty takeoff. That's fine. 120 at 17. Runway winds 8 knots. So there we go. Fine. Origin. Keflavik, Bravo India Kilo Foxtrot. Destination Halifax. Flight number Air Canada 197. And runway is going to be 19er. Okay. Alternate. Alternate is going to be... I think it was Charlie Yankee Quebec Mike. And weather request. And now we're going to do the departure. So I need 19er, Raylo 3 Charlie, route, activate, fuel reserves, format, I think we're good. And the arrival, actually I should be able to just put in the legs now. No, I get it. All right. Arrival is going to be what? What did we pick for the arrival? We picked the Cabo 5. Cabo 5 from Kaylee. And the ILS 23. No transition. Just execute. And we'll take a look at the legs. Okay. Liros is probably the last waypoint that we take on the departure. Really? Where's Liros? Did I put in the wrong waypoints? Oh, I get it. So Kaylee's all the way on the other side. Bosa, Liros. There we go. There we go. Those are the waypoints for the approach. Okay. So between Kaylee and Raylov is going to be our oceanic crossing. So we're going to take Rakis, and then we're going to take 6330 north. Next page. 6140 north. Then 5750 north. And then Janjo. Then Hitor. And then Kaylee. And that's it. And now we can wipe that discontinuity. But you know what? You know what? We'll keep the discontinuity, or should we? No, no. I don't want to wind up seeing myself flying way past the airport because I was like paying attention to scenery dev at the time. So I'm gonna close the gaps manually. And yeah, there we go. That is the entire flight plan. So we've got the flight plan set and we've got our performance set and we've got our progress page. That should be it. The only thing that apparently performance is missing is the flight level, which I don't know why it disappeared. Okay, pre-flight's complete. And that might have been why I didn't have the takeoff numbers before. Nope, that's weird. That's super weird. Okay. That's fine. All right, folks, thanks for your patience. Let's go ahead and get this bird in the air. First thing we'll do is get the beacon light on. And wait, how much fuel are we taking? We have fuel across all the tanks. So Beacon lights on. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the sound, but for some reason it's not showing me, it's not letting me hear the sounds from the plane. Is there something I'm missing? I know I don't want to do that. Okay, got it, got it, got it. Okay, yeah. Um, I don't know. Quiet flight today? Cool, whatever. APU should be spinning up. I mean, I do hear sound. If you guys don't hear sound, let me know. But that's it. Doors are closed, slides are armed, and turn the cabin lighting off. We will take wheel chocks off at this time, and since I believe we are now running on APU, I can take the external power off. Okay, we should have everything we need to get taxiing. So let's go ahead and plan our pushback. We will push back tail to the left. And we'll get going. So 45 minutes to spin up. I would say if this is a 5-something hour flight, if we do 4x, we'll be up in the sky for about an hour of real time on the way back to Stanfield. So what did the flight say the flight time actually was going to be? Block time, a little over 4 and almost 5 hours. So yeah, we're gonna be 4xing a bunch of
Hello,
the flight.
Captain. We are ready for pushback.
And we'll take the GSX sounds down a bit. Sorry about that.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Yeah, doors are closed.
Locking gear.
All right, folks, time to get out of here. Nose right, tail left. Yes.
Release parking brakes, please.
Okay, parking brakes. Released.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
All right, clock is on. And there we go. Center panel. We will do engine number 2, please. Good enough, I'd say. 18%. Give me the go juice. Good numbers. EGT is definitely rising on engine 2. Good numbers. Ooh, that sounds great. right, let's go with engine 1. Booting up. Good enough. Let's get the go juice in here as well. And we'll go with TARA. Right now. There we go. Insufficient fuel disregard. We should have more than enough. How much fuel we have? 94,000? Roughly 95,000? Which is what we took for max. Yeah, we're going to be fine. Disregard.
Please set parking brakes.
Parking brakes set.
Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
Looking good to me.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Unlocking gear.
And while we're waiting, let's go ahead and go to our flight controls page and get ready to double check. All right, full left, full right, full forward, full back, left rudder and right rudder. Spoilers, tested. Okay, flight controls look good. Doors closed, slides armed.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
Can confirm.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Definitely right clear. Definitely the right left clear. Bye-bye, Iceland. See you sometime in the future, maybe. It would be nice to go to Iceland IRL. I've never been. So if we can get there in roughly 2.5 hours, take care, friend. See you next time. We'll get the taxi light on, wing lights on for safety right now, nose light on just to prove a point, and that should be it. Let's go ahead and turn the APU off. And am I missing anything? Anti-ice is set to auto, so we should be good there. All right, wonderful. I probably am not going to get in-cabin sounds because of the fact that we swapped liveries when we got started today. It's okay. It's not a big deal. So, to taxi out of here, we're going to be going down runway November 4, which we should see now. Yeah, we're on November 4, actually. That's pretty cool. So we just go straight ahead to hotspot 1 for 19er. And we've got about maybe 500,000 feet to go. So, parking brake off. All right, while we're going, let's do flaps to 5. And auto brakes to RTO. And for funsies, a little bit of intermittent wiper action. Because why not? Okay, so about 6 minutes from pushback to engines up and ready to go. Spoilers are not armed. Flaps are set to 5. Auto brakes are set to reject the takeoff. We're taking off on 19er. We've got the flight plan set. And we've got the heading set as well. All right. Heading lights on. Taxi lights off. Strobe, I'm going to turn on now since we're pretty close to the runway as is. And we're not on VATSIP. Ground speed is still 15 knots, so we are coasting to 19er for departure. No traffic of any kind here. Some static aircraft parked when we first loaded in. And we are almost ready for departure. Good afternoon, everybody. Hopefully you are seated with your seatbelts fastened. It's going to take us probably about, I'd say, 2.5 hours at 2x to get to where we need to go. We'll add a little bit of, we'll add a little bit of 4x speed if we have to. Wow, the reflections are beautiful. Rain's not that bad. Let's go ahead and get lined up and get out of here. All right, good enough. Engines are stable. Let's go take off. Power set. Airspeed's alive. 80 knots. Seen. Didn't adjust my trim, but we're still in the green. V1 and rotate, and V2. And away we go. Positive climb, gear up. Flaps 1. $1,000. Autopilot. LNAV, VNAV. Nose light off. Coming up on our first turn, and we are under 220 knots. And we're turning. We'll go flaps up now. Okay, we're approaching 5,000 feet. And we have quite literally no traffic in the area that I can tell. So we'll go ahead and climb straight up to 40,000. There we go. Took the sound down a little bit. Actually, I think 18 should be fine. My levels for my audio mixer. Let's see, tops are supposed to be at 1800, but we're like 8,000. These tops must be much higher than I thought before. We're 250 and we're on our way to 10,000 feet. We're past 7,000, so we can go standard pressure. And letting lights off. 10,000 feet, chat, here we go. Starting to spy breakthrough happening here. We are roughly 46 nautical miles from our next waypoint, and we still have over 91,000 pounds of fuel. Doing good. All right, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. We are well on our way to cruise. We are reaching 13,000 feet, and we are going to be cruising at 40,000 feet for this flight. Top of climb will hit either just before or just after we hit our next waypoint. And we are roughly, I'd say about maybe 9 to 10 minutes into the flight right now. Pretty cool. Once we're well established on our way up to cruise, I'm probably going to step away from the flight deck, make myself some coffee, and then we will sit down and do some dev work as the plane settles and we get going to where we need to be. Seatbelts are auto. I'm going to go ahead and assume the flight attendants know how to override or work with the auto system at that point. And this is not bad. We've just broken through the clouds, at least the first layer. And I can already see top of climb. We're climbing at about 2,400 feet per minute. And I suspect by the time we get up to cruise, we're going to be cruising at maybe about Mach 0.84 or 83. So we'll see. We will see. Loads of clouds all around. Loads. knots ground speed and probably climbing. And we've got a Slight tailwind? Okay. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. I'm happy with that. I'll take those numbers. Gladly. All right, so the vertical speed will keep changing to preserve or to enhance my airspeed as we get up to 40,000 feet for our cruise from Keflavik to Halifax. Remind me, I'm like tired today. It's all right. Once we're failure established, I'm gonna get up, which is probably gonna be in the next like minute or two, because again, let me check my range. Unless something literally spawns right in front of my aircraft, I don't see us having to do with any kind of weird, traffic avoidance or any kind of possible situation. Weather should not be a factor. I'll double check windy.com and see what's up. So roughly flight level 390, and let's take a look at any kind of rain situation. We've got rain and snow off the coast of Greenland. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I was just about to get up anyway. Yeah, so we've got, I guess for lack of a better phrase, a bit of a nor'easter over in the North Atlantic, but we've got snow off the coast of Greenland, snow in the way northern reaches of Canada, and otherwise there's a system that's just off the northern US eastern coast, but I don't think it's going to be a problem unless it moves up into Halifax. So we should be good, gang. Let me go ahead and mind my business. I'm going to go ahead and grab some coffee, help Miss Digi get some stuff into the room, and then I'll check in with you guys. Probably maybe in about 2, maybe 3 minutes tops. So sit tight. I'll be back shortly. Hello, everybody. I am back. Sorry for the delay. Partly couldn't be helped because I wanted to do some things to set up. One thing, in honor of returning to Canada and my fascination with a certain brand of coffee, I decided to make myself a makeshift double double. So, grabbed some ground Tim Hortons, threw it in my brewer, and then I added some milk and some sugar. And I have a stroopwafel sitting on top of it, catching up some of the warmth. So we have some refreshment for our trip. Let's take a quick peek around the flight deck and make sure that we have what we need to look at for the rest of the trip. I'm going to put this back on the map view for my plane. And we are probably like maybe 20 or 30 minutes away from the transition back into Oceanic. But again, we're not on FATSIM, so I don't care. And we have reached cruise. That's neat. Dude, look at that. All right. So normally this flight would take about 5 hours. I'm going to go ahead and increase to 2x right now. I might even do 4x for the first hour or so that we have a little bit shorter arrival time into Halifax. Right now, I'd probably say I'm going to wrap up sometime around maybe 6:15. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a little bit of front load 4x just so we don't have to think very hard about where to go. So I'm going to lower the volume significantly. Double that. Actually, do we need to do that much? Let's see. That should be fine. Just a little bit of noise in the background, not much. If you guys want to hear more of the in-cabin, in-plane or sim sounds, just let me know. No, you should be fine. You should be fine. Okay, so that's that. Let's go ahead and fire up Blender. And I'm not going to be... Oh, that's interesting. Had a bit of a hiccup. I'm not sure if he's got a temporary burst of wind or something. We're fine now, but that was really strange. Oh, no. It wasn't really strange. I'm going 4x. We just had a right turn. But we should be on auto, not crazy 30-degree turns. That's all right. Auto brake 4 is set, and I think that should be everything. We're on 4x mode, so the clouds are going by really fast. 4x means we'll probably be there in about an hour's time. Actually, I kind of like it this way because if we get there and there's enough time, I might sneak a quick, bit of trucking in. But that also means I have less time to do scenery dev, so we'll see what happens. There we go. Here is my Blender window. I'm going to go ahead and make it mostly the size of the screen. And that's cool. You know what though? If I'm going to be doing this, I might as well just make this the entire size of the screen, right? Makes sense to everybody, right? So, there we go. I don't care about the overlay. I'm good. Let's go ahead and get started. We are working on the main FBO for the Ocean Isle Beach Airport. I believe it's called Odell Williamson Municipal Airport. And we have been at this for, I'd say about 2 or 3 streams at this point. So we have most of the structure in place. What I need to do is I need to figure out how big and where I want the windows to go on this thing. So before I get myself, in a tizzy, I'm going to go ahead and grab my pictures and my map setup for 60 Juliet, and then we're going to get some ideas. I know the airport we're looking at, so this shouldn't be an issue. Just takes a little bit longer to load because I'm streaming and doing stuff, so that's fine. It's okay. And you won't see excuse me, you won't see the browser window or anything like that, but you will actually see me doing some stuff. I wish I had a car model I could use as a reference point, but we'll do what we can. Take a sip of some coffee. Let's get going. Okay, so I can try to get an idea of how high up these points are and then decide to just create windows that are sized a certain way. I'm going to be eyeballing this, so there's going to be room for interpretation, if you will, and it is what it is. I might break apart some of these panels, but there's two ways to create windows in a panel. I can either inset, like kind of like cut into these walls with another cube, which I hide to produce the effect of a hole, or I can break this apart, this whole panel apart in into pieces, and then I can create the necessary faces and windows and things like that. And that's what I've done. That's usually what I've done with the buildings I've rendered lately. So let me go ahead and do this. I want to break this wall out from the rest of this. And is this the same one that's on both sides? No, no. And that's good. That's bad. Well, it's not bad, but it's not gonna help me immediately. But let me figure this out. Give me just a bit. Hey everybody, sorry I ducked out. I am back. I'm going to cut this in, but I first have to separate this wall into a new piece. So, let me try it again. Oh, okay, I was pressing the wrong button combo. Cool. Let's see. FBO wall 1. And now this is an entirely separate piece that I can cut into as many times as I want to without actually looping across the entire object. It's a little extra work, but I feel like it's going to work out a lot better for me. Okay, so for starters, how am I going to do this? I kind of want these windows to be, I want these windows to be equidistant from each other. I don't want to just like kind of go blah. But let me think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Um, the windows are going to be kind of skinny, but not that skinny, and they're going to be in the middle of their sections. So let me think. I could look at this straight ahead. That could work because then what would happen would be the windows would be slightly skinnier than those segments, those two segments, and that would still give me plenty of room to put that, I guess, that floodlight there. I think that works. All right, so we'll do it that way. And now I should be able to split those segments into smaller segments, and I should be able to actually create the window, I guess, template from that. So the window's broken into two pieces. There's an awning and there's the actual window itself. The awning is just going to extend from the base body, and we'll texture everything later, but we're creating the actual models right now. So we are zipping along at 4x speed. We're actually passing over the tip of Greenland right now. I might go back to 2x speed once we clear Greenland so we get a little bit of time. You know what? I'll probably do that now. I estimate we'll probably cut another like 45 minutes off the time by 4xing it. So I think now we should be good. All right, so here's how we're going to do this. Can we actually split these two at the same time? No, I can't. All right, that's fine. So we'll split this one in half. And if I take a look at the picture, so if I think about that wall split into 5 individual segments, that should be just wide enough, and we'll dissolve those lines. So 5 subsegments for this wall piece, and 5 subsegments for this wall piece. Okay. I did that because I wanted the spacing to be set a certain way. We're going to dissolve these edges, and we'll see if this works. All right, we'll save this now. And you know what? Let me change my window sizing for this. You guys can see everything. All right. I should probably come up with a dev view at some point so that I can easily switch between views and have things loaded a certain way. That might not be a bad thing to do. For now, for now, I'm going to go ahead and set my view here like this and set this view up like this. I think I should be able to put that flight sim window over it. Now this is fun. We will just bring the P3D window up, and now that's good. Now you guys can see. And that should be big enough. Okay, good enough. We've got 2 windows that we can start building out. So now we have the window base pieces, which we'll separate. FBO wall 1 window base. And now we have the rest of the walls and the window pieces. So we can break the individual walls up into individual windows. And what should this look like? The windows are going to be closer to the ground, but I feel like the entire thing is almost equidistant. For the sake of artistic license, I'm going to make everything symmetrical. So I'm going to kind of play with these measurements and just make sure things are respectful. I would say the windows are probably a little bit bigger than the actual awning. So the awning will probably stick out. Let's see. Yeah, that's about right. So if I do 2 pieces for the awning and 3 pieces for the window, that's pretty big. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 pieces total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. We'll do that. We will do that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This will probably start making more sense once we start getting some actual shapes in. And all right, how can we do this? How can we do this? Well, I guess we just have to experiment. All right, so we have a new save. These 2 pieces up top are going to be the awning. I'm probably going to extend the faces out. We don't have to have a huge awning. But let me see. How far out does it go? Actually, it doesn't go out very far at all. If I do this, it'll mess with the actual shape. But hold on a moment. Ah, I don't want that because it'll mess with the pane that should be for the window. So that's why I extend the faces. And not by much. Not by much. So we'll create the awning piece. And this doesn't look like much right now, but it'll make sense shortly. We are going to merge these vertices together. These guys. And then we're going to figure out what the difference between this number and this number is and use it for the y coordinate for the middle piece. So that's what we're going to do. We'll take this number and then we'll take this number. So we will do 15, 2488 minus 15 is 0.2488. So we have to take 2488 away? No, that's the difference. We have to divide that number by 2. So it's going to be 1244. So 1244 is that. 1244. And there's our awning. Okay, we're pretty good. And now, if we really wanted to, we could probably get rid of this bottom piece here. And now we have the piece of the awning behind, just in front of the wall. So easiest thing for me to do is to do the same thing with these other segments that I did before. And now that I know what the vertex y coordinate is going to be, I can use the exact same coordinate for those pieces there. So there we go. Grab that and copy it. Again, we'll take the other vertices up top and merge them. And there we go. All right, superb. And now I can take the bottom piece and extend them to where they need to be. There's probably a much easier way to do this, but it's all right. We have a little bit of time. All right, so now we have awnings, and now we need to create the windows. So we're going to take these segments, and we're going to tie them together. Actually, before we even do that, let's dissolve these edges. Okay. In one sense, if I was going to make a basic 3D model for the building, which I could, I would probably forget about doing the interior and then just make it as pretty as I could on the outside and be done. So let's start with a phase 1 where the exterior is modeled, and then we'll go into modeling the interior. I think it's pretty nice for, first shot, so that's okay. We'll take these these faces and turn them into a separate object. And window base, windows. And now we can go into these windows and start working on them. So we're probably going to inset these faces because we're going to need the actual window panes to be away from the edges. We want I guess we want to, okay, is that beveling? Actually, no, it's not. Let's inset, which is what I want to do. All right, I need to get, I guess, closer. It's the right idea, but it's not the greatest approach. You know what? I don't think it's the right idea. I think we need to cut into this some more and then create the individual window pieces and then create the faces. So I need to break this up into segments. So let's do this. Theoretically speaking, I could probably um, create the individual window panes and subdivide the edges in the middle, but this is a little too small. Let's see. The individual window pieces will go here, right next to each other, but we want some spacing. Some spacing, just not a lot. So 3, 4, 5, 6. Still a little too far away. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, I feel like that's better, even though we have a lot more segments. All right, so now if we pick 1, 2, 3, this is 12, right? So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4. Okay. Do I want them closer? That's a good question. So if I look at them kind of head on, do I want more of a bevel or a boundary on the outside or the inside? That's actually a pretty good question. If I take away one piece from each side, then that would kind of look like that. And then you'd have some fairly consistent spacing for the windows and for the beveled edges. So we'll play with that. Let me save this first. So that should probably work, actually. Let's dissolve these. So, exactly. Let's dissolve these. Okay, so now we have the beginnings of the actual windows. And now what we can do is this. If I create the individual window pieces, then I can grab these individual window panes and turn them into a separate selection and go just Windows 1 and 2, but later. Now we have the individual window panes. To make these look good, we're going to have to cut into them again. I know. Again. So let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 11, 10. 11, 10. That seems actually pretty good. So 2, 3, 4, 5. That's too small. Definitely too small. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm trying to make math my friend here so that we can actually, stay symmetrical, stay kind of like frosty. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Those numbers are good. So, what we're going to do is we're going to dissolve all those other edges that we picked. And I should be able to pick them all individually. All right. So, in case you don't see it yet, this is what I'm trying to do. This is the building we're trying to make. This is at Odell Williamson Municipal Airport. This is the fixed base operator, I think. And essentially we're building the windows first, or building these windows here. Actually, does this place have a street view? Because that might help me a little bit more than the actual building would. Look at that. There we go. Okay, so turns out I did this wrong. Also, turns out it looks like we don't even need to build a fence here because they have none. This is definitely what we call a low-key airport, which is pretty neat. So I can probably flesh out my awnings, which means I'm going to be probably cutting into the awnings that I created, or I can just keep my awnings simple and just say, hey, they swapped them out. So, okay, I'm not going to go nuts with the individual like bumps and stuff on the windows and whatnot, but we'll go for a good version 1 and we'll see what we can do. Now that I have an idea of what I want to do, I can get started with the windows. These windows I can inset. I don't know if I'll be able to do both at the same time, but I'll try. Okay, it does look like I can, but not by much, which sucks. Actually, does it suck? Is it that bad? Try again. Remember, we've already actually, you know, set up a whole bunch of dividers, if you will. They're going to be inset. Yeah, we might not have to worry about them too much. We might not have to. We might not want to make them that far apart, but that's a different problem. Let me go back to an earlier version, actually, because it doesn't look like this is working out. Okay, let me go back to version 13. Actually, let me reopen 14. Okay, so we didn't actually have to go that far apart from these individual windows. The problem is the cut is so symmetrical that it's like actually limiting me. Okay. Let me not think too hard about this because we're almost into Canada. If I do this and this, is it going to be bad? I still want some separation. I still want some. Okay, so I think what has to happen is we have to oh wow. Whew. We have to dissolve these. I'd rather do it here. We did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 divisions. If we go with 18 instead of 24, there's just a little extra degree of precision. I think we can do that. I think we can do that. Stand by, chat. This is the kind of stuff I think about. So let's take this face, subdivide it again. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay. And now I'd say 1, 2. How many faces for the exterior kind of like border? and just enough of a boundary, maybe a little bit less. I'm trying to frame this window nicely. The exterior frame and the interior frame definitely have a difference in size. It's just slight. So can we pull that off? We could try. Let me save this as a new revision and keep going. And now I think what we can do is we can actually take these individual windows and break them out. So 3 from the outside on both sides, 2 in the middle. So each one of them has 5 strips. Yeah, this is it. So windows 1, those are the individual windows. And now we can break them out again. It almost seems silly in one sense. It's like, you're taking a long time to make a window. What's going on here? You'd be surprised how difficult it is to actually create these edges and these shapes. And in one sense, yeah, I could use an add-on utility to create the windows for me, but the biggest problem that I have with using the utilities is if the utility has an update or the utility stops working, or I don't like that I can't do certain things with the utility, I'd have to do things by hand at that point anyway. So I try not to be too dependent on other utilities unless I absolutely have to. That's usually my thought process. So let's do this. Let me subdivide these again. I thought I said something like 5 or 10. Let's see. 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, that's not so bad now. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Now, the problem is I'm not going to have a lot of room for the window up top, but I kind of don't care. And the reason why is because the individual panes of glass are going to be below the top 2 pieces that you see up top. It's hard to tell right now, but work with me. So what was that? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, keep that there. Do the same thing with the other side. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. So, since we know that the top portion of the window is going to have a kind of windowette above it, like here, then what has to happen is we need to make sure we have enough room. And enough from the bottom. Doesn't take up the entire thing. I want just enough separation so that there's enough room at the top for the individual window piece to work. Is that going to work? Quite possibly. Quite possibly. I'd have to take all of this as the window and leave enough space to create the new window piece up top. At least I think so. Let me think. Okay. I just finished the rest of my coffee and stroopwafel, so I'm primed now. We're going to break this into three segments per window piece. First segment is going to be this window. So we'll take these segments, we'll break them off or dissolve them. And then we'll take these segments and dissolve them too. So now we have the spot where the window is going to go, the spot where the other window is going to go, and then the space. Okay, so now we can take these individual windows and now we can work on them. All right, we're going to break them into two segments. And then we're going to break them into how many dividers? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So six, I guess, small panes of glass, 6 levels. All right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's about right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the individual window. And what we want to do is we want to take these edges and extend them. So this is going to be interesting. We'll start with this side. This is where it gets a little cool. I should be able to do this on both sides at once, or at least try to. And this, I think, is where we bevel them. Yes, there we go. Let's see, is that too much? I want the division to be visible, but I don't want it to take over. Something like that. I think so. Now, whether or not the panes are inset or not, I'm not going to worry about it. Believe me, that's like way above my pay grade right now. So this is going to be the colored or the painted piece, and they're going to be the transparent pieces. I'm going to make them highly reflective for now, as opposed to wondering what they're going to look like later. But I'm not at that texturing stage yet, so let's go ahead and keep this the way it is. What I should have done was probably tie all the window pieces together and do all the bevels at once, but I'm not going to freak out about that. Let's just keep moving forward. What I can do now is I can inset all of the individual window pieces like so. This should probably achieve the desired effect. And we'll see. That should probably be enough. Let me go up a little bit. If we inset to that extent, you'll be able to see the individual polygons without going nuts. And there you go. We got windows. That's not bad. I'm not going to worry about adding all these hinges and things and whatnot. We're not at that point right now. But now we've got the individual glass panes set. And what we can do now is we can go back to the base window pieces and probably join them back to the base windows. And the reason we'd want to do that would be because we want to dissolve these edges here and then do a loop cut across the line. We'll see if that can happen first by saving a version, and then we will join them. So we add these two, we do Control J, and bam, base windows. So now that we have this down, that's interesting. I might be able to get away with something if I really want to right now. I can probably, yeah, actually, this might be a pretty good time to do it, but I'm not freaking out about that right this instant. I have to first let's see. What happens if I try to cut? Okay, yeah, we can cut. It just takes a little bit more effort. All right, so good. So far, so good. All right. Let's experiment since I'm at the point where I can. Let's dissolve these. Let's dissolve these and see what happens if I try to cut. Okay, it's possible for me to cut. Good. Let's dissolve these edges. I can't. Can I delete the edges? They don't want to go away on their own. This could be a problem. Why would these edges not want to disappear? I don't know. Delete edges? Oh, I see. It looks like we got rid of the face that way. Oh, of course, because there's no face right there. There's no face. Okay. I think that actually did what I wanted it to do. I'm not sure. And this is the actual edge. So if I dissolve the edge, what happens? It's hard to say. If I get rid of the edge, then that gets rid of the face. It does not get rid of the window that I created before, which is kind of cool, but at the same time, this is going to kind of mess me up. So I'm probably going to have to reconsider my actions here. Okay. So how do I fix this? How do I fix this? This is kind of tricky. If I oh wait, hold on. There's something I forgot. Okay, I may not need to freak out too much because the window up top here isn't going to go past where these other window panes are. It's only going to stretch from here to here. So what do I want to do? I will probably need to get rid of this piece, or at least dissolve this edge. This edge needs to dissolve. This needs to go away. That's good. That's easy. Let's get rid of this face. Just the face. And get rid of this face too. Just that face. So, with those two faces gone, I might be able to bridge the gap, but this is gonna have this is not gonna be easy. This is an entire piece. I'm gonna have to figure out how to either subdivide the edge and add vertices right where these points are to preserve this kind of boundary. Yeah, yeah, I could. I could. If I get rid of the face, then I don't get rid of the line segment. Okay, we'll try one way, we'll try the other way, we'll see what happens. Okay, I've gotten rid of the face. I got rid of all three of those faces, so I see behind the window pane. It's hard to see right now with all this gray, but I think I'm where I want to be. All right, next step would probably be to subdivide this line. Actually, I don't think I need to. All right, check this out. I should be able to bridge the gap between these two vertices. And now we have an entire wall piece up top here we can ignore. We'll take this and this and this, and we should be able to just bridge and create that segment right there. Okay, almost. I missed something. So let's do this. Let's do this. Let's take all the segments that I want. Okay, I am not seeing something correctly. Why? All I want is you, you. If I break these pieces off, what will happen? Oh, maybe that's what I failed to take into account. That's weird. It's not that I necessarily care about this segment alone. Yeah, this should be fine. So it's also taking that segment as well. Okay. All right, so I need to do a little bit more work. Need to do a little more work, but we shouldn't have a problem. Subdivide. Is this the entire line segment? Okay. So wait, why was that complaining before? Ah, because of the top piece. Okay. So I need to subdivide this piece. That's bizarre. Okay. So it looks like, regardless of what I do, it's still taking the top part of this piece, even though it's not showing it as pure white. So I have to subdivide. So when we subdivide these lines, we make it very clear what they're supposed to do. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take those two vertices and merge them. So now I should have two separate segments. Yes, okay. And just because I'm picky like that, I'll rejoin that top piece together. And now I should be able to join all these together without so much difficulty. There we go. Okay. So now we have that segment set. And now what we can probably do is get rid of these two segments, these two edges here. I'm sorry, did I miss something? Okay, hold on. Let me try dissolving these edges first. No, they don't want to dissolve. Why don't they want to dissolve? Are they behind the wall? Also, did I get rid of the entire face? That's a little weird. That's strange. No, 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 no. It's not strange. I forget. When you extrude, you are extending one side of an object. You're not extending all of it. So, okay, okay. All right, don't freak out. Don't freak out. Does this go all the way down? It shouldn't anymore, and it doesn't. So why can't I get rid of you? I should be able to get rid of you. There we go. It's almost like there's some kind of like extra calculation that they're doing to get rid of the edge. Now this is clean. Okay, good. One thing I like to do is to reproduce the vertices on both sides of a build. And it looks like I've already done that, so I should be able to create a new segment or a new face based on what I have here. There we go. New wall. Good. Good. It doesn't look like I did much, but believe me, this is actually necessary. Also, one last thing. Let me check the window again. The window... If I'm going to get fancy with the window, I might want to redo this face. No, I'm going to leave that alone for now. Okay. I wanted to break this off because I needed to actually have the individual piece. Okay. This is complicated. I'm hoping I do this faster next time. All right, so we're actually already in Newfoundland. I had accelerated time to 4x to get to Greenland and then 2x. And how much time was that? Where are we, like 2 hours into the stream? Sheesh. That's fast. So, probably gonna have to start looking at my approach really fast. So give me a moment just to jump back into the sim. And I will put this underneath the overlay. Same thing with Blender. Okay, so sit tight. Let's go normal speed for now, just so I can see what's going on. We are roughly an hour away, or roughly half an hour away from top of drop. So if I went normal speed from this point, an hour from now, we would begin our descent. And then maybe 30-ish minutes from that point, we'll be on the ground, which will put me at about 6 p.m., which is actually pretty good timing. It will give me a chance to clean up the window, make it look really nice, and then think about how I'm going to do it with the other window, later on. Not today though, because I think we're running out of time to make the other window happen. If I do 2x, then I'll have about a half an hour's time, and then I'll be on the ground, I would say, what, 30 minutes sooner? Because I'd go normal speed once we hit top of drop. I mean, you descend pretty quickly. It's been a non-starter for me. Like whenever you hit top of descent, especially after a medium to long haul flight, the rest of the flight hits you pretty fast. So let's do this. I can't think of a reason to finish a half an hour earlier, in the sense that there's no if I finish half an hour earlier, there's not gonna be much I'm gonna do for a half an hour. I'm not gonna fire up American Truck Sim for like a quick half an hour run. So we're gonna do this. We're going to keep speed as is, and then I'll keep checking and see when we get close to top of drop. But before we go back to Blender, I'm gonna set myself up for the approach. I'm going to take a look at our approach altitude for Liros, and we need to be, where's the glide slope? The glide slope kicks off at Mythic. We need to be at 1920 feet. So give or take, if we're at 1900 feet, we should be fine. And the restrictions for the approach altitude should probably be good. We're also going to have an airspeed restriction of, I think, 200 knots at Lidos. So we'll be slow. Mythic, let me go ahead and turn off the center pumps since I think they're expired or spent. Oh yeah, they're used up. And yeah, 1900 feet should be what we do. Let's go 1,000. There we go. 1900 set, and we'll set our heading for the approach, which will be 233. So there we go. The heading for the approach is set. The course setting should be set. And the ILS should switch over to 109.9 since I punched it in like twice. But again, worst case scenario, we'll go manual. Speaking of going manual and weather, the winds haven't changed that much. They're from the southeast at 14 knots. It is going to make for a 14 knot crosswind coming into 2-3, but let me think. Do I care about a 14 knot crosswind? In a plane this big and this heavy? Probably not. The alternative would be to land on runway 14, and I'd prefer to have a stiff crosswind than to deal with a short runway. So that's fine. That's fine. Let's get our approach performance set. Let's go to init ref, approach ref. We're going to choose, yeah, flaps 2.5 should be good. And we already have this chosen because I did this in the the performance page before we departed from Keflavik. Yep, ref +5. So I would say roughly 155 for final approach speed. Once we have flaps set to 25, we should be fine. And we have speed brakes set, auto brakes set to 4. The spoilers will deploy once we go throttle idle and we kick up the reversers. So that's it. This has kind of been fun. Actually, definitely has been an enjoyable flight, and I've liked getting into the details with that window render. So let's figure out what else we have to do and let's get back to it. Oh, excuse me. Gotta move the sim. The sim. Not you. Not you. You. That's it. All right, so back to the flow here. Now I have the space that I want to create that window up top. So we're going to probably, I think we're actually going to break this off vertically. So now what I can do is I can split this in half. At least I thought I could split this in half. Let's go. I can't? Okay. So, all right. If I want to do this the right way, I'm going to do this by hand. So let's get rid of the face. The face is gone. We're going to subdivide these edges because it's not letting me do it otherwise. Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Stop, stop. Let's break this off. Windows top. Now I should probably be able to do this. Choose the face and subdivide it. No, it's not letting me. Okay, so that didn't work. Is a little bit of turbulence up top here. Let's see. Why can't I do this? Probably because I need to use a whole bunch of vertices. I guess so. Let's get rid of the face and subdivide into this piece right here. Subdivide on that side, subdivide on this side. So now we kind of broke off the piece up top that we want to separate. Now I think what I need to do is subdivide the segments above that. Okay, this is part of the problem. So I got rid of this piece and this piece. I only want this piece, not everything. All right, subdivide that and subdivide that. There we go. So now, how do I render this? I think I know what I want. Subdivide that and subdivide that. Okay, so we're going to create what I want to see. If I get rid of this vertice and this vertice, I should be able to create the window that I'm looking for. And let's save our progress. Can I get rid of these other vertices now? I should be able to, I'm guessing. Let's dissolve you and dissolve you again and again. I feel like this is going to help me. Well, that's got to be set up. And also, why? Oh, hold on. Is this a part of the actual bottom piece? I get it. Okay. Never mind then? I think I was meant to dissolve the vertices up top. I think so. I have to keep the bottom ones. That's fine. Now, let's take a look up top. We're going to join these pieces together. And we're going to join these pieces together. So now we have the window up top, and it doesn't actually split the entire thing perfectly. Is that a problem? No. No, it's not. No, it's not. If I zoom out, let's see. Actually, that window pane could probably be even bigger. So let's dissolve these vertices too. Join these two vertices together, and bam, there's your window. All right, now we're going to take this piece, and we're going to take this piece, and we're going to remake this like we did before. But instead of doing that, I'm going to make sure that I do this, 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 and this, and that's going to be cleaner. And now we're going to take this, 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 and that, and we're going to make another one, and then this is the remaining piece. So this is going to be the individual window pane, the top pane, which shouldn't be a problem. This is Windows top. And now we should be able to break out the windows as we see fit. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces, but they're slightly offset. So the middle pieces kind of go to the middle. So I need to actually do this. Take this and then loop cut it. So we need how many pieces? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, hold on. 2, 3, 4, 5. This is pretty close to the standard cuts that are there. So again, I'm not going to freak out about it being slightly off. We're going to take this piece and break it in half again. And then we're going to take these edges and dissolve them. And now we have these slightly bigger center pieces. And then we're going to do the same thing we did before with the other panes. We're going to break them out just a little bit. Just a little bit. And we're going to kind of puff them open, which I believe was the bevel. And that should be enough. That should be enough. That should be fine. So we're going to take all these pieces and we're going to inset them ever so slightly. And yes, I know this is a lot of manual work. I know. I kind of don't care. I'm putting in the effort here. For version 1, I'm very happy. And it's hard to tell when you are looking at everything, but now you can kind of tell with the way the shadows play against those individual polygons. Now you can tell that the window shape is pretty close to what we have, and I can show you the screenshot again just so you guys can compare it. So we'll show you the browser, and if I put the browser window slightly to the side, then you can tell with what we have here, it's kind of sort of what we're looking for. The only thing left to do is probably to create the actual supports. And again, we're going to be doing something similar to what is actually there, But for version 1, probably going to keep it very simple. So there we go. I definitely feel like I went the long way around the barn to create this. And I'm not sure if I'm going to actually put all the individual vertices and bumps into the window. I might just be satisfied with painting the outer window white and then getting the, the the individual dividers painted white, and then you'd have the window, and the windows themselves would be highly reflective. So I'm not going to have time to do this exactly the same way here, but now at least we're going to be able to duplicate things. So I might actually join them. But all things considered, not bad. Not bad. And where are we right now? I think we're back in the bay. We are what my wonderful friends would tell me would be the I think we're re-entering the Maritimes in Canada. Let's see how far we are from going feet wet. It looks like we are almost there. Yeah, there's the bay. And what is that even called? Let me see. Can I see the world map? Where's the world map? World map. What is it called? Doesn't show me. I know we're going to be going past Prince Edward Island, and we are leaving Newfoundland. Unless we already have. Actually, yes, we're currently in Quebec. So map, satellite. Yeah, yeah. This really, 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 really big body of water. So there we go. That ain't bad. I think the next thing for me to do would be to tie both everything into the base window class. So we're going to take the window glass, the window top, and the base windows, and we're going to join them together to what? The window base? Not yet. Not yet. So I think I can probably work on everything this way. And call that window base windows, and that's it. So now what I can do is break this off into individual pieces like I did before. And I think this was 12 pieces. And then do the same thing again over here. Most of the work should be very similar, actually exact. The only places I expect to be a little bit off would be the individual window pane sizes. Although I could probably use numbers from these windows to make them exactly the same. For an exterior model, I'm not even going to worry about that. So let me go ahead and at least get started with this one and then put it away for the rest of the flight. How long do we have until top of drop? Let's see. So I would say we are about 240 nautical miles or less from top of drop, because we're in between, somewhere in between Heator and Cayley is when we're going to start dropping. So I think we actually still have some time. I might actually be able to get this one started. So let's do that. let's see, 12 pieces. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, which looks about right. And then 3 in is when we did everything. Let me see if I can approach this from a different angle. The problem is that doing it slightly differently means I'm gonna have to think really hard about separating it and computing it, all those things, which I don't need. Oh, no, 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 wait, this isn't 12. This is more than 12. It was 18. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's better. Okay, so now we select all these pieces except for you and you, and then I think the pieces in the middle, in the exact middle, that should be sufficient for the windows or the windowettes. And let's go ahead and what? Break these out? That looks about right. The windows need to be wide enough, but not that wide. Yeah, perfect. So we'll say Windows 2 this time. And we're going to break into these windows like we did before. And this is where it gets a little tricky because I need to figure out how these should work. I think I have to... Hold on. How was this? No, that's about right. That's actually about right. So I think I need to do this, dissolve these edges, because we're not gonna kind of cut into them too much more than that. We're going to break them into what I believe was 10 pieces. Yeah, yeah. 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do the same. No, I gotta do it again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's better. Okay, great. So this allows me to break this off into individual segments. So we're going to dissolve this edge, and then we're going to dissolve these edges on either side. And now we have the places where the windows go, and we can create these windows and then finish the rest of it. Let's see how we're doing. Yeah, there we go. About a half an hour real time away from top of drop. That's not bad. We are dealing with some headwinds now, 252 at 37, and it does look like we actually have a aircraft somewhere out that way. I'm pretty sure I won't be able to even see their call sign, but that's neat. Yeah, like 30 some odd nautical miles off to my 11 or 10 o'clock. They would have been out this way. Okay. I will kind of stay a little bit alert. And now we can break this into individual pieces. One, two, three, four, five, six individual window panes. Well, break this in half first. Oh, wait, I need to be careful. So, windows, glass. And now I can take these and work with them. And now I can break this off. 2, 3, 4. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And again, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Great. And we will extend these out a certain way. And again, I'm expecting these to be slightly off or majorly off. I'm not going to worry about it whatsoever. Save my progress, and then we should be good. I would estimate our arrival to be somewhere between 5:30 to maybe 10 of 6. And I think we're flying real time. So we should probably start to see the sky get a little bit off blue and more golden, but I don't think the sun's going to set anytime soon. Especially not since we're like in May. So no, I'm not, I'm expecting that to be the case. And save that. Oh man, I just started thinking about Alaska again. Sheesh. Guys, if I sound like I'm just struck with the idea of Alaska, it's because last year's trip was unbelievable. Um, Mrs. Digi thinks we need to move there. I don't. I'm not necessarily against that. I mean, yes, I'd probably need to get a pilot's license to get around the state fairly quickly, and Mrs. Digi is okay with that. So that would be a difference of lifestyle for sure. But dude, I mean, we had such a great time. It was off the chain amazing. All right, so let's go ahead and bevel these edges in or out. And I would say it's pretty good. Again, I'm not going for incredible accuracy here. I'm just going for good things. All good things. All right, so now we're going to inset all these pieces. Actually, you want to know what? I might wait until the top windows are in as well. Because if I do, then I'm not going to have to worry about insetting them a certain distance and matching that. Okay, so we have the windows in. What I need to do now is to get rid of these faces and then chop into the existing major face. Major face, major look. Okay, so the difference here is that okay, I think I need to join these together. And then once that's joined, I don't know what's up with that. But let's go ahead and grab these faces and all right, dissolve the edge. And I think what I need to do is to break these off. Yeah, okay. Okay, I see. At least I think I do. So I did this before by subdividing. Well, first thing I have to do is get rid of these faces. So we're going to delete the faces, I believe. And now, yep, it's much easier to see from that angle. Now that we've got rid of the faces, I should be able to select these line segments and then subdivide them. Subdivided. And this is where we have to get, proper. So if we merge to the last. And now we have individual faces. And now what I have to do is get rid of the individual line segments that are here. So I think we should be able to delete them instead of dissolving. Let's try dissolving first. Nope. Dot, dot, dot. Okay. So dissolving doesn't work. I have to delete. All right, we are 80 nautical miles from top of drop, gang. Amazing. It's all right. Ms. Digi is watching a live streamer that is on a kind of like they're Cape Canaveral and they're watching cruise ships head out, and the Disney ships are heading out and they're playing Disney tunes with their horns, which is cool. All right, so now we can complete this setup because I can choose these. All right, so that's the top. And now I can tie this back together. Bam, bam, bam. That's one face. And before I finish this, can I actually get rid of these two? I should be able to dissolve them. Can I? No. Can I delete them? Theoretically, I can, and I just did. I'm probably going to want to rejoin these two vertices since I don't think that line segment exists anymore. No, it doesn't. Okay, that's rejoined, and now I can actually make this entire thing a face again. And there we go. There we go. And just a kind of quick mental health check. Is this actually hiding or not showing anything? Or showing anything? No, it doesn't look like it. That's good. That's good. For stage one, we're good. We're good. And now what has to happen is I need to make this look the same way I did before. So we're going to break this face again. And now we're going to break these line segments into pieces. So we're going to subdivide once, then subdivide again. And I think we need to subdivide one more time. I think? No. Hold on. We need to subdivide a little bit more. Like maybe 30 minutes or something like that. 45. And one thing I forgot was where the... Oh, that has to be subdivided higher. I'm relatively sure. Subdivide one more time. Come on. Come on. Up top. Up top. Come on, friend. There we go. Okay, so now I have a whole bunch of vertices that I'm going to use. And I think what has to happen is we need to subdivide one more time, but this segment. We will see how far off I am. I think this is what I want. I think so. So this vertex can go away. So can you. Okay, and now that we have all these gone, we can tie them back up. And now we can recreate these. No, that's not working. I have to pick the individual shapes that way. Okay, that's one. That's two. And that's three. Okay, hopefully this isn't really messy, but that's pretty close. And now we're going to subdivide in here. And we'll say Windows, well, no. Windows 2 top. And kind of like before, we break this out. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. And then we divide this piece in half again. And then we dissolve the two pieces out here. And that's it. Okay, so we're going to take these edges, extend it like we did last time. And now I can bevel them. Bevel them, sorry, not inset. And that's more or less good enough. Okay, now, unlike before, we're going to take this and join it to glass. And we're going to adjust them all at the same time. Now we're pretty close. We're pretty close. We're going to inset all the glass in one go. And let me save my work. And that's it. So now we're going to push it in, push them all in. And there we are. And there we go. We've got all these windows set in very much the same way. So now what I can probably do is go out of here, join them to Windows, just not to the window base. Join them back to windows, just like so. So window base windows now has all the adjustments that we've made. So now we have 2 windows, and I'm probably going to work on making the glass reflective. And at some point, maybe this week or next week, if we actually decide that we're going to do an interior for this building, I will probably work on it. But I've got at least 2 more windows to do on this side. Hopefully I'll get faster at it. And I think in the back, we could probably make a couple of windows if the map's imagery shows me that there are. But yeah, this is part of what I do. I'd like to get faster and faster at it, and I would like to do this more to hopefully, bring in a little bit of extra cha-ching for the family. So let's go ahead and save this out, and we will close down Blender for today. So thanks to everybody that tuned in for the Blender piece of the flight at Cruise. We are rapidly approaching top of descent. Let's go ahead and close this out for today. And I've had this browser window open since I don't know when, so how about that? Sorry, guys. But let me clean up, because I should clean up. And that, as they say, is that. Beautiful. Not bad for a cruise today, for like the better part of like 2 hours. Now that I know the pattern, it's probably going to get easier for me to replicate it. So that's good. Blender is now officially offline. Okay, let's bring these sounds back in the flight deck. $18 should be fine. That's it. Maybe more? I don't know. Let's double check on Halifax. Stanfield International Airport in Nova Scotia. The weather has changed slightly. Winds are now coming in from the southeast at 13 knots. It's overcast at flight level 210, scattered at 13,000, and clouds few at 2. So we're going to be dealing with probably about a 8-knot tailwind. And since the winds are coming in from the east-southeast, I don't know. We might have to change our arrival runway, especially if we have traffic on at that airport. We still have time. We still actually have time, even though we're approaching top of drop. So I don't have to freak out about that. We do have to take a look at the flight computer, though, like right now. So let's take a look at the approach. If we stick with 2-3, we're going to be coming in with some tailwind. The tailwind isn't necessarily the problem. What I'm more concerned with would be the AI traffic choosing a different runway to take off out of. Because theoretically, it would be way easier for AI traffic to come in on 5 because the winds are facing towards 5. And with that, instead of having an 8-knot tailwind, you'd probably have more like a, 10-knot quartering headwind. It would still be a crosswind, but you would have it at your, it would be hitting you from the front, not from the tail. Do I want to land on a short runway? No. I'm fairly positive that traffic is going to be landing on 5. So we're going to change it for the localizer approach for 5. And if I do it on the flight plan, what's going to happen? Let's see. If I do it on the flight plan and we change it, let's choose a different runway. We'll choose runway 5. That's not, we're getting ready to descend. Runway 5 is not used. 14 is actually used for arrival. It just seems so weird. I don't know. I mean, okay. We're gonna have to stop pretty quickly. Let's take a look at the approach airport info again. If we land on 14, we might have to taxi back through Mike, Kilo, and cross 23. But we'd be pretty close to the terminal as it is. We also wouldn't be dealing with a big tailwind. We would be dealing with a what? 3 knot crosswind. That would be way easier. I also wouldn't have to go out on my way. So let me change the flight plan, and let's see if we can actually fix this really fast. Let's see. Are we descending right now? We are. All right, cool. I'm glad I set my arrival altitude, approach altitude. Excuse me. So we will take ILS 14. There is an ILS approach. So we'll treat this like we're coming into Jackson Hole Airport. If we do 14, let's pick a different runway. Yep, take care of the ILS approach. And we're going to pick a... Let's see what approach we can take. We're going to take the 14 transition from IGFOP. Select. And now from Kaylee we'll go to BOSUB, Keybot, Vimla, and IGVOP. And then we'll take vectors, but IGVOP is essentially going to be exactly what I want. Execute that, and then we have our approach. TTAR and Imano, and then Imano should be... Let's see, 109.1 at 143. Oh, really? So it is the same frequency, 109.1 at 143. Oh, look at that, it already punched it in for me. Thank you, computer. All right, now, quick check. Am I missing anything? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. So, let's see. Descent checklist. We have our airport data. 109.1. Cross-referenced and confirmed. We're not on any frequencies. We're not on VATSIM. And we're set for squawk. We have been. We're way above 10,000 feet, so we don't need to worry about landing lights or such. And we should be good. Let's take a quick peek outside, see if we can see under the airplane. not much out here except water. Let's see where we are on the map. We are flying past Prince Edward Island, so it's just under these clouds. You won't be able to see much of it anyway. At least I don't think so. No. Not today. Definitely not today. Nice livery. For sure. Okay, so we should be on the ground probably in about maybe 20, 30 more minutes. We're coming in pretty quick. I mean, we're descending, but we're still carrying like almost 400 knots ground speed, even though we're indicating about 304. I could probably take out some of the suspense and just 2x the approach if I really want to do it. I want the textures to load in nicely. Here's what I can do. I can probably accelerate time to just above like maybe 12,000 feet. And what is going to be our landing QNH? Local pressure is 29086. So let's set the pressure now. 29086 set. Do we have any inbound traffic? We have no traffic at all. So we should be good. Total fuel on board, we still have 52,900 pounds of fuel, roughly. We should be okay. Alright, we'll go ahead and 2x the approach, just to get down there faster. I'm feeling impatient today. Once we get to about 14,000 feet, we will go 1x for the rest of the flight. And that should be plenty of time for us to, you know, get settled in, get happy with the approach, and come on in. The one thing I forgot to do, though, I forgot to check the approach altitude for the actual, I guess, final approach fix. That would be roughly 1810, so we're actually going to go down to 1,800 feet for the ILS approach. Okay, so we are rapidly approaching Nova Scotia. We'll be flying, I guess, either just past the city or before it. Probably north of the city. Northeast of the city, excuse me. And then we will be fine. Yeah, I like Nova Scotia, actually. I wouldn't mind going back there again for a summer trip. It was pretty cool. At least it looked nice. So. Okay, auto brake 4 is set. I don't know if I can actually set up the speed brake. I don't think you can arm the speed brake manual anymore. When I was testing my thrust reversers on the ground, I noticed that when you do thrust reversers after you go idle throttle, the speed brake automatically deploys, so I'm not going to worry. And if you retract or put away the speed brake, I'm sorry, if you deactivate the thrust reversers and you blip your throttle all the way forward and back, that automatically retracts the speed brakes. So that also can be something I don't have to worry about. Let's see, 240 would mean roughly 4 hours of flight time. So technically, we might be getting in a little bit earlier than anticipated. I think the earliest block time they had was like 4 hours, 38 minutes. So we might be landing like maybe 15 to 20 minutes earlier than normal. Which is neat. Mrs. Digi is here with me, so are my pets. And we have enjoyed a wonderful flight out from Keflavik back to Halifax in Canada and Nova Scotia, in the province of Nova Scotia in Canada. And we're coming into a mostly cloudy approach. We left some rain back in Keflavik. And the last time that we showed up there, it was snowy. So that's kind of cool. That's my volume. Volume is pretty good. Okay, let's go back to normal pressure. We are not descending as quickly as I'd like to, but that could be because of the way that the restrictions on the plan work. It's fine. So 14,000, let's take it down to 12. And then we'll go normal speed. Okay, we are going way slower. And we're going to chop so that we actually get down to legal speed to descend from 10,000 feet on down. We're 2x right now, we'll go 1x shortly. Although, we probably go 1x right now. And we are good for the rest of the trip. So we're not going to be speeding up or slowing down time anymore. I want to give the sim a chance to load the textures in properly. The texture, I think, resolution is either low or medium, and I don't have that much in terms of autogen. I tried to give the sim as much chance as it gets to get a smooth, frame rate happy approach into airports that we're flying to. FMC says what? Unable to maintain VNAV descent speed? Alright, let's go ahead and cut in. Oh, I can use Alright, let's go ahead and chop this. Right about there is fine. And as we approach 240, we're just going to ease off a bit. Okay, so we can have the speed brakes armed. I thought we couldn't. That's weird. Am I worried? No. We are definitely inside of 80 nautical miles. Alright, auto brake is set to 4, speed brakes armed. Approach course is set at 143 for runway 14, and we have the ILS in place. And ILS code India Hotel Zulu. Is that it? India Hotel Zulu, confirmed. All right, chat, in we go. Down below 10,000 feet, which means landing lights can come on. And we'll ding the cabin crew. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. I'm happy. Lord willing, we will have a beautiful approach into Stanfield International. And then I believe we're going to taxi up to either the northern or southern terminus, or wherever it is they can take us to park. $8,000. I'm happy. I'm happy. In B3, the sky's a little bluer than I like, but the smoothness and the experience of certain aircraft is just wonderful. MSFS certainly has more satellite imagery, that's for sure, but I can always fix that problem by, I think, downloading FS Earth tiles or the like. Let's see what it looks like out there. We do have some greenery down there. Looks lovely. This is Orbeck's North American land class scenery. There's nothing custom that I know of in terms of very custom land class tiles for Nova Scotia, but it does look pretty. Okay, there is the airport, but we are not going to be coming in for 2-3 because of the winds. So we are going to be going around. Not going around, but turning to final. That's what I wanted to say. Okay, I still don't see traffic. Alright, FMC, are we still... We're still going pretty quick. If we need to be going much slower, I know what to do. Stand by, chat. Be right back. Hey Chad, I'm back. Just had to catch up with someone, and I have arrived at Stanfield. Looks like the follow me truck is here as well. It's going to be taking me to gate 9, I believe. We are pretty much maybe about 10, 12 minutes ahead of schedule. Superb, actually. I think we planted it on runway 14, but honestly, in terms of performance and exiting the runway when we should, it's actually quite superb. I'm happy. All right, so this is the actual one. Um, okay. Coming in at an angle is not something I'm used to doing. But this is where we need to be. And true to form, there's Mr. Parker dude, our ground marshaller. Oh, we're cooking on the entry. How we doing on the line? Oh, pretty good. Pretty good. Digital brakes, so it's like er, you know. Let's see how close we get to a really, really, really good parking rate. Now we can keep going. Wow, this thing coasts. Yeah, see, it's like we're not gonna get. It's gonna be like. It's a little closer, little closer, little closer. Wow. Let's go ahead and set up 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Dun, 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 dun. And a little bit more. There we go. Okay. This is about as good as it's going to get. All right. Parking brakes set. APU is on. Let's go ahead and cut the engines. All right, my friend. Were you pleased with that, or did I go a little too far? I thought I stopped at like, oh no, this is very good. Thank you. All right. All right, friends, let's go ahead and turn wing lights, and we'll get ground power on. Give me wheel chocks. That way I can cut the parking brake. Actually, do I want wheel chocks? Yeah, we're fine. We're fine. I'm not gonna do a replay. I'm really pleased with the approach. It's not gonna be a biggie. Let's go ahead and cut in some external power. Open up the lights, cabin lighting, turn the seatbelt signs to off. We can turn the APU off, and I can open up cargo and get the plane deboarded.
The boarding requested.
Door 1L is fine, and that should open up. Flight attendants, disarm slides and cross-check. Stand by for all call. All right, we should be able to cut the fuel at this point. Fuel is off. Beacon light can go off. Logo light can go on. It's the middle of the day. It's all good. And the nav light can go on. Seatbelt signs are off. And front door should be open. And that's it. Okay. Beautiful.
Passengers deboarding starting.
Passengers are disembarking. Will we see them exit? I don't know. We probably won't because there aren't any GSX level 2 jetways here. They would be in... Oh no, there are. Or at least they're using the default ones. That's cool. All right, so not bad. We got some scenery, Devin. We flew from Keflavik to Stanfield International, and the folks in the back are leaving. There are a lot of people disembarking, and we are unloading. Not bad, not bad. From a bygone era of flight simulation in P3D, where the scenery and the price points flowed like wine, and it was nothing for you to pay like upwards of like 100 for, you know, a really good airliner, which I'm happy that the prices have come down in terms of what you pay now in MSFS. Maybe not by much for the study level stuff, but it's good. It's a welcome thing. Yeah, we're still disembarking. I think we're going to be good for today, folks. Happy to have you aboard. Thanks for coming along on the trip, even if you just joined in at the end or if you've been here since the beginning. I happily flew from Keflavik back to Stanfield. I might make this a rotation, or I might have made this a rotation if I was actually doing anything with Air Canada Virtual or like, you know, Iceland Air Virtual or something like that. But right now I'm not a virtual airlines kind of guy. I'm super busy with IRL stuff, and I want to get to a better place to be able to do this kind of stuff on a normal basis. But this was very nice, a welcome treat. I'm happy to have done this and to have shared time with you guys. And now I can probably turn the cabin lighting off. Unless we're not done deboarding, we're not done deboarding. It's okay. I think I'm going to go ahead and cut it at this point. Folks, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Really, really, really appreciate your support. I think I'm just going to go ahead and head out and let you guys find your way over to your next favorite streamer or take a break and stretch. I appreciate the company. I appreciate the comments and the hellos. And to my lurkers, thanks for lurking. Thanks for boosting my algorithm as always. And I don't know when the next stream's going to be. It's probably not going to be tomorrow. I might go back to doing no microphone streams during the week, maybe one or two, and we'll see where we go from there. Folks, from Stanfield International Airport in Halifax, in Nova Scotia, thank you so much for tuning in. Like I always like to say at the end of every stream, if you want true peace, you want the Prince of Peace, and that is Jesus Christ. Take care, friends. Have a great rest of your night, and until next time, we will see ya, like these folks that are departing the airplane. Take care, folks. Bye.